shots fired as Milwaukee unrest continues. Milwaukee, WIS. At least one person was shot Sunday night as unrest continued in the wake of a fatal police shooting over the weekend in Milwaukee's Sherman Park neighborhood, authorities said. The Milwaukee Police Department said on Twitter around 11 p.m. CT Sunday that officers rescued a shooting victim from the 300 block of North Sherman Blvd, in the area where protesters had reconvened. First responders took her to the hospital. Just before midnight, the department said officers received 2 more reports of gunfire nearby. Police prepared to disperse what they described as a small disorderly crowd but said protesters threw debris in their direction. Less than 24 hours after an uprising that captured the national spotlight, Milwaukee is still not at peace. Police moved in before 11 p.m. CT to disperse a crowd at Sherman Blvd and Burleigh Street after protesters started throwing objects. That's when officers said they received reports of shots fired. Governor Scott Walker activated the National Guard earlier on Sunday to assist the Milwaukee Police Department upon request in the aftermath of violence. Following a request from Sheriff David A. Clarke Jr. The development came as a sense of calm and order returned to the neighborhood Sunday morning after a night when businesses were torched, cars overturned and set ablaze and gunfire erupted following the fatal police shooting. The National Guard was deployed to the scene Sunday night, Milwaukee Police said on Twitter. The department and other agencies were working on restoring order. Shortly after 7 a.m. CST, people were showing up at the scene to pitch in on the cleanup, some even crossed the police tape into the gas station, which was not being guarded by police, and started picking up trash. Officers ushered them out and the cleanup continued near the station and in the surrounding blocks. Mark Hale, 52, who works third shift at the Hilton Hotel downtown, said he was driving home and stopped by on his own to pick up trash. Instead of being part of the problem, I wanted to be part of the solution, he said. I figured if I started picking up trash, other people might do the same. Hale, who is black and has lived in the city his whole life, said he attributed the fires at businesses and squad cars to a lot of idiots who don't have jobs and don't want to have jobs. Hale said he has 4 grown children, 3 of whom are in training or studying to be in law enforcement. Point blank, I support the police, he said, adding from what he has heard the officer who shot the suspect was justified. In earlier statements, Milwaukee police said an officer shot and killed an armed man who was fleeing a traffic stop about 3:30 p.m. Saturday. The officer ordered the man to drop his gun and when the man did not, the officer fired, wounding the man twice, once in the chest and once in the arm, Barrett said. At a Sunday afternoon news conference, Milwaukee Police Chief Edward Flynn identified the man killed by the officer as Sylville K. Smith, 23. Flynn said the officer was wearing a body camera that showed Smith was armed, and that Smith turned toward the officer with the gun after being told to drop the weapon. I want the community to know that the individual had a gun, Mayor Tom Barrett said at the news conference. Barrett said 125 National Guard members had been activated, but would not be deployed unless Flynn determined they were needed. Sources who wished to remain anonymous told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel on Sunday that the police officer who fatally shot Smith on Saturday is black. After an hours-long confrontation with officers, police reported at 10:15 p.m. that a gas station at 10 Sherman Blvd and W. Burleigh Street was set on fire. Police said firefighters could not for a time get close to the blaze because of gunshots. Later, fires were started at businesses, including a BMO Harris Bank branch, a beauty supply company and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores, according to city officials. Flynn said Sunday 6 businesses were set on fire. Alderman Collie Franey, who represents the neighborhood where the incident occurred, had suggested on Sunday that failure to deal with the frustrations of Milwaukee's black residents, poverty, jobless, lack of opportunity, could lead to unrest elsewhere in the city, including downtown where hundreds of millions of dollars are being invested in redevelopment. We need to continue to address the issues that people are frustrated by, Hamilton said. People want to feel like they're getting a fair shake. Others, interviewed in person at the park, also pointed to gun violence roiling the city. 5 men were killed in 3 separate shootings that occurred Friday evening and into early Saturday. "We cannot blame the police for what is happening," said the Reverend Jeffrey Hawkins of Westside Missionary Baptist Church. "I can understand we get upset when police kill one of ours, but who is getting upset when we kill ourselves? That's where our anger should be." Another woman at the scene said the unrest was the result of years of members of the black community being victimized by the police. "They have been taking our folks for too long," she said. "This is a rights issue." 3 teenage friends who live in the area came out to clean. They all said a lack of good education and jobs had boiled over into fires. And while they didn't defend what happened, they weren't surprised.